So we were both traveling. I was by boat and by land because I went on a cruise.
Yes.
But we had to get to the cruise port and things. So you're driving a rental car.
Okay.
So I'm always terrified of rental cars, because like, what if you get in a crash? What's the process of that situation? So I'm always scared of that. And if you're driving in Florida ever, you know that Florida drivers, not to offend anybody out there, but who cares, are some of the craziest drivers that exist because I don't know why, Josh.
That's
so
true.
I'm on the turnpike and I look behind me, trying to stay in the right lane, trying to just drive slower. I see 30 cops behind me. And I'm like, wow, okay, so what's going on here? They're like zooming in and out of traffic. I'm like, this is not something must be going on. So I'm trying to get over, but they're like zigging, zagging everywhere. So I'm like, I don't know how to get. Next thing you know, in the shoulder, small shoulder, inches from my car, a car goes past me at 100 miles an hour and just completely shakes my car. Like we almost crashed because of this. I was like, oh my gosh, these police are chasing this car who almost killed me and Sarah. We almost died. Wow, this is crazy. Like the cops, and then all of a sudden the helicopter flies over, and it's like it literally looked like Need for Speed. It was crazy. I was like, I love that game, but it was amazing. And like the cops, really, they were kind of doing it, like zigging and zagging out of everything. It was like, this is kind of crazy, but this guy almost killed me, so it's justified. And so I never know what the end of the story was because they're gone, and I actually made a wrong turn. And so I was like, because it's kind of exciting because cops are like driving all down the grass median, like 15 minutes later. There's no chance they're going to catch this guy. 15 minutes later, you got a guy
coming, we're going to be there.
Yeah. Literally at 80 miles an hour, driving down the grass. Debris is flying. People are swerving out of the way.
Don't forget about us.
So I didn't know how the story ended. I was like, wow, this guy must have been some kind of murderer for doing this. I mean, he almost killed us. So I'm at the airport, pulling my bag, and I see on the TV, it's like talking about this chase, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is where I saw this. What happened? It's great. It's the end. What are the chances I get to see the end of the chase?" It turns out that the police were not chasing the car that blew past me and almost killed me. That was an undercover police officer with no lights.
Who was also chasing whoever was ahead of you somewhere.
Who was also chasing this U-Haul. I saw a big van, but I was so distracted by the fact that this car almost killed me. It was like, oh my gosh, like what is this? It's got to be this guy. There was a car that a police officer was tailgating, and I was like, well, who is this guy? So it just completely went off my radar. Like I couldn't imagine. It was the U-Haul wasn't even driving that like bad at all. It was just like
not as bad as
normal.
the police officers.
No. So it was like unimaginable the amount of police that like on TV that were chasing this guy.
Yeah,
unimaginable.
I watched
like
the clip.
50. Yeah. It was like
and
50.
The clip was popular because the one of the guys gets out of the car and like tried to jump off the bridge.
He was running out of options. He didn't want to kill himself, but he was like, I
don't think he was trying to self-delete. I think he was just trying to escape. And they're like grabbing him. He's like dangling. He's like, no, don't get me.
That was when you're watching these on television, you're like, this is justified. This is worth it. Because like, who knows what this guy did? But when you're actually there as a pedestrian on the streets when this is happening, it was a whole new perspective.
These are real lives.
Yeah, and these people just stole a U-Haul. I'm not going to say just because that's bad, but they stole a U-Haul, and the police decided it was justified to chase 50 police officers down the street, almost killing me because of the U-Haul that they crashed and totaled and destroyed. Because honestly, they couldn't even catch the guy. It was a pedestrian getting hit that stopped the U-Haul. And then the police did a pit maneuver and stopped him. But like a pedestrian getting hit slowed him down enough for them to do the maneuver.
Well, thank you for your sacrifice.
So that really changed my entire perspective on these police. Now, okay, maybe if the guy was a serial killer murderer. Okay, there are different levels of sin. When it comes to the law.
The cops have to assess the level of sin.
Yeah, but the guy stealing a U-Haul was worth it to have 50 police officers chasing for 20 minutes, even though they couldn't
Jordan,
catch him.
If you just let everybody who wants to steal a U-Haul get away, then everybody's going to steal the U. You know what I mean?
It's going to be me getting my car stolen.
That's what look. These are these are tricky questions.
Well, and somebody messaged me and said that, but Josh, I said this on Instagram, this story.
Okay.
So at Messi_Jordan, if you would know the
you
story.
would already know all this.
Yeah, but he said this, but he didn't, and so I got offended. I was like, dude, I messaged him. I was like, the police almost killed me in this situation. You understand? Like, how are you still saying this when I'm saying that the police almost killed me? And you're saying that next time it could be me getting hurt because the robber could be stealing my car.
I'm dying in both scenarios.
I would rather at least have a chance with the robber, not with the police, because I would get thrown in jail still somehow. And Josh, that wasn't my nicest message ever. And he responded, he was like, oh, I didn't see the rest of the story had timed out. I didn't. I just saw the part of the story where you were saying that, where I saw the video clip and said, what are the police doing here? So I apologized. I was like, look, I was worked up because I was so freaked out by this police chase thing. And he was like, I'm sorry too. I was trying to educate you. I'm so glad that we made up. Really, it gave me hope, Josh.
Good. I'm glad you guys made up.
Yeah, me too. So and I've helped him with bike stuff in the past, like what he should get. Okay. So I was like, this coming from him.
This coming from him.
So it was just a misunderstanding.
Okay. Whew. Glad everything's okay.